What if the most consequential weapon ever deployed in the Persian Gulf made no sound, left no smoke trail, and cost less than a cup of coffee every time it fired? Something entered the Strait of Hormuz within the last 72 hours, and military planners across the region are paying very close attention. Iran's commanders are now confronting a possibility they spent decades trying to avoid: the sudden erosion of a strategy that took more than 30 years to build. This isn't about who won or lost a battle. It's about an entire military doctrine being challenged by a technological shift. And once you understand what changed in that narrow stretch of water, you'll see modern warfare very differently. To appreciate the significance of this moment, you have to go back 3 decades. For years, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, understood a basic reality: it could not defeat the United States Navy in a conventional naval war. American carrier strike groups possess unmatched firepower, advanced sensors, integrated command systems, and global logistical support. A head-on confrontation would heavily favor the U.S. So Iran chose a different path. Rather than building a navy capable of matching America's fleet ship for ship, it developed an asymmetric strategy designed to exploit economics rather than firepower. The goal was not necessarily to sink every enemy vessel. The goal was to make defense so expensive that maintaining it became increasingly difficult. The logic was straightforward. Every weapon has a cost. Every defensive response has a cost. If an attacker can force a defender to spend vastly more money than the attack itself costs, the attacker gains a strategic advantage, even without winning a decisive battle. Consider the numbers. Iran's Shahid 136 drone is estimated to cost around $20,000 to manufacture. Yet the missiles commonly used to intercept such drones are dramatically more expensive. An AIM-9X Sidewinder costs roughly $400,000. A rolling airframe missile approaches $900,000. A standard missile, too, can cost around $2 million. In other words, defenders may spend 20, 50, or even 100 times more money destroying a target than the attacker spent launching it. Now multiply that imbalance across a large-scale swarm attack. Iran has demonstrated the ability to launch more than 150 drones in coordinated operations. At approximately $20,000 per drone, such an attack could cost around $3 million to execute. Defending against that same swarm using traditional interceptor missiles could consume hundreds of millions of dollars worth of munitions. And money isn't the only issue. Every interceptor launched from a warship's vertical launch system occupies a slot that cannot be immediately replaced. Once those missile cells are depleted, the ship must withdraw, rearm, and temporarily operate with reduced defensive capacity. That vulnerability, known as magazine exhaustion, became the foundation of Iran's swarm doctrine. The concept was simple: launch enough drones, missiles, and other threats simultaneously from multiple directions, overwhelm defensive systems, deplete interceptor inventories, and eventually create an opening where at least some attacks get through.